sunny day. I'm picking up a line. I'm picking up a line. All we wanted is coming on a sunny day. I'm picking up a line. I'm picking up a line. All we wanted is coming. Outside, we don't go when it's cold. Tonight, the frost is gone. We wait inside the pouring rain.
Tyrone Blackburn and T.D. Jakes enthralled in a legal battle. You almost would forget that Dwayne Youngblood is a part of this lawsuit. The back and forth between Tyrone Blackburn and T.D. Jakes' attorneys is astounding. And what I am about to read to you all shortly should just blow your entire mind. The unmitigated gall of this man is astounding to me. Y'all know I don't even go live on Saturdays or Sundays. I'm normally resting. This is my off day. But this Tyrone Blackburn fella is something else. I am already on my second cup of coffee this morning. You all, it is 11:03 here on the West Coast. And I need y'all to share this live. Please share this on your social media. Tag a friend. We need to talk about this. We really do need to talk about this. If you are not subscribed to this channel and you want to keep up to date with Bishop T.D. Jakes and all of this case involving Dwayne Youngblood, I am one of the undisputed sources for this information, and we're going to get into a conversation. And I'm waiting on, hold on, I got to send this to my brother in arms here. Let me see, what did he say? All right, there it is, sir. So let me say this, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll drop the link for any of you that will have any comments and will want to come up and say something later. Y'all are not about to believe what's about to be read to you. And I'm so serious. Y'all just not going to believe this. You're not going to believe this. This is incredible. This is literally incredible. I want y'all to be prepared, because I asked for Daryl's help, because y'all know the last time my brain almost exploded, and you just will not believe what I'm about to read to you, or what's about to be read to you all. Tyrone Blackburn in the middle of, well, no. Don't let me tell you. But before we get into this, there must be a conspiracy going on. And let me tell you why I think there is a conspiracy. Think it not strange, ladies and gentlemen, that yesterday, My Little Pony, better known as the green-haired goblin,
oh Lord,
came out here yesterday talking about Dr. Scrotum Sniffer had some exclusive information because he spoke with T.D. Jakes' attorney and all of this foolishness. And Dr. Scrotum Sniffer was setting up his membership. And if you wanted the exclusive information, you had to go sign up for Dr. Scrotum Sniffer's new membership, right? That's what they said. And I had somebody send me a text message. They say, you know what? This man doesn't talk for 45 minutes and they haven't told us nothing. Now, I didn't go over there and look at it, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I didn't go look. I don't know whether he dropped any jewels or any information, but something seems really strange that on the same day that T.D. Jakes' attorneys and Tyrone Blackburn exchanged these legal documents, all of a sudden now, Dr. Scrotum Sniffer comes out here and he's got this new membership and he's got an exclusive that he needs to tell everybody. It almost sounds like there is a distraction going on here, and somebody is trying to keep our attention on some bull jive. So I have asked Daryl, the cigar vlogger, to assist me today so my head won't explode in going through these documents. Now, there's two sets of documents. There's document number 66 and document number 65. Document number 65. Well, let me say this. Well, yeah, 66 and 65. I might have them out of the wrong order because I think Jakes' attorneys came first and then Blackburn followed behind them. So, Daryl, if you can read document 66 first.
Hold on, let me pull it up.
I think I sent it to you. You got both of them, right?
It's in the chat. I gotta get them.
This is crazy. You guys watch what I'm about to read to y'all. Y'all not gonna believe this. This is incredible. This is incredible.
You said read 66.
Yeah. Do you want to read 65 first or 66? We should probably go 65, huh? Since that would be the proper order.
Okay. I'm saving them now. Hold on.
Oh, God, I am too through.
Oh, okay. You already pulled it up. I downloaded it. Okay.
Oh, you want me to pull it on the screen?
No, you already got it on the screen. I'll read it.
No, I don't have it. Do I have it on the screen? I don't have it on the screen.
Oh, I thought, no, that's me. Never mind.
Hold on. Here it is. I can share my screen. That's no problem. So what is this? We're going to do what, 65 first?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. That's 65. And here we go.
Is that me? Hold on.
No, that's me. I just put it up on the screen. This is 65.
Okay, hold on. Let me get these out the way.
Okay, no. We should read 66 first because this is his response to Jakes' team.
Okay.
I must have put it in the wrong order. I don't know how I did this, but anyway, let me share this tab instead. This is only 9 pages. You know, Tyrone goes too far with everything. All right.
All right, here we go.
Now, before you start reading, Moni said go read 65 first. Okay, so let's go 65 first.
All right.
Let's go 65 first. I'm too through with this. This nigga done confused me so bad I can't even get the numbers in order. And my head is about to explode. But go ahead, Daryl. Let me
fall out. Don't fall out.
Oh God, I can't stand this man. I don't even know this man, and I can't stand it. Him and Dr.
Respondent
on my nerves.
Tyrone Blackburn submits the opposition to plaintiff's request for a leave to file a SIR reply. The motion is not grounded in any need to clarify legal arguments or address new issues. Rather, it is an overt, improper attempt to sanitize a retaliatory bar complaint and deflect attention away from plaintiff's counsel's egregious conduct designed not to seek justice, but to destroy the career and reputation of opposing counsel through harassment, falsehood, and litigation abuse. This case is pending in the Western District of Pennsylvania. I have no cases past or present in the District of Columbia. Nonetheless, plaintiff's counsel, Mr. Durston Push, filed a bar complaint against me with the D.C. Office of Disciplinary Counsel, claiming I misrepresented my bar admission status. This alleged misrepresentation stems from the inclusion of the letters D.C. under the logo of my firm. At no time did I ever express or discuss my District of Columbia bar admission to Dustin Pooch or his colleagues.
And pause right there. It doesn't matter if he discussed it or not. You had it on the letterhead, which gave the appearance that you were licensed. And if you read the letterhead gives the implication that you were licensed in DC. So that whole statement right there, just dumb. And you're an attorney and you passed the bar. Jesus, you make me think that the bar. Go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry.
At no time did I ever express. Okay. At no point did he call, email, or write to inquire about my DC bar admission before launching his career-altering attack. He has no issue sending me emails to request permission to file SIR replies. He has no issue with sending me an email to threaten sanctions according to Rule 11. But for some reason, he had a hard time sending an email to inquire about my DC bar admission. Mr. Pooch's actions exhibit clear bad faith. I was formally sworn into the D.C. District of Columbia Bar on May 7, 2024 by the Honorable Catherine H. Parker, U.S. Magistrate Judge for the Southern District of New York. That don't make sense. How are you going to be sworn into the D.C. Bar by somebody that's in the Southern District of New York? That don't make sense. I urge Your Honor to contact the judge Parker to confirm that she swore me in and signed Exhibit A.
So now you're giving the judge homework.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep the main thing the main thing. This is all in regards to the attorney's fees that he has now been asked to pay in regards to his sir replies and his stuff that he done put out here. Just giving you the yeah.
Mm-hmm. The retaliatory nature of Dustin Pooch's conduct is self-evident. Its timing followed my filing of several affidavits in defendant's anti-SLAPP motion to dismiss, previously filed by the defendant in this case, from countless survivors of plaintiffs who all describe serious allegations against plaintiff and other members of the clergy and his church who use their position of power to groom and sexually assault them.
Now, clarity, y'all need to understand, this is the first time he has now mentioned the church. So now he's including T.D. Jakes and the church.
Yep.
So he's adding the church into this. Go ahead.
These affidavits contain deeply disturbing firsthand accounts of misconduct. They form the basis of defendant's argument that plaintiff is a pariah. Defendant's public allegations against plaintiff are not isolated, but part of a disturbing pattern of depraved grooming and sexual assault. In response, plaintiff counsel struggled to address the allegations head on, failing miserably to coherently respond to the men who provided the sworn affidavits, those convicts. To further justify his retaliatory abuse of the disciplinary system, plaintiff's counsel now appends to his sir reply motion an email in which I asked whether he would waive service in a forthcoming civil suit involving plaintiff and his daughter, Cora Jakes.
I want you to stop right there. Bombshell, ladies and gentlemen.
That's with Cora. God dang it.
Now, so in the fact that he is trying not to pay the $70,000, which and a $5,000 discount that T.D. Jakes' attorneys have given him, he now issues in his reply a threat to Bishop Jakes and now adds Cora Jakes to a threat or a pending lawsuit that he plans on filing, while he's also asking the judge for leniency in actually paying these attorney fees. Now, you're not going to, if I was the judge and I was reading this, I would probably put the paper down on my desk while I take another swig of my scotch. I would not be able to mentally wrap my head around this. You're asking me to allow you to get continuing education and to give you no attorney's fees and make you pay no attorney's fees, while making T.D. Jakes' attorneys now have to respond to the foolishness of you now stating that you're about to file another lawsuit, or you're threatening T.D. Jakes' family with an additional lawsuit regarding Cora Jakes. Go on, Daryl.
That email, entirely appropriate in substance and tone, is now being mischaracterized and taken out of context to falsely imply impropriety on my part. Cora Jakes, like her father, has been publicly accused of abusing children.
Stop right there. Let's stop right there.
That was her husband, not her.
Well, that's true. Now, there has been a woman out here who has been railing and crying, talking about Cora Jakes and her husband stole her child. We all done heard it all over the internet. It's all been all over the internet. First of all, nobody can steal a child. Let's be clear about that. You have to sign some paperwork. You have to give over parental rights. There are certain things that you have to turn over in order for legal situations to be, to go into effect. So all of this whining and crying and all of this stuff does not address the totality of a situation. Do I know the whole story on that? No, I do not. Am I going to go and investigate the whole story on that? No, I am not. You know why, lady? If Cora Jakes is now raising your child and the court system deemed it proper for her to be raising your child, that's all I need to know. Whatever you said outside of that, I don't care. Because you had to go through a whole legal process in order for that to take place. Now you can go and dig up this scummy attorney to try and now circle back around to deal with this situation. And all I'm going to tell you is you're gonna land yourself in a media firestorm, because the hammer is going to all you co-conspirators and all of you people that's doing this, The hammer is going to fall on you guys, because God is not going to be mocked. All of you guys sowing this best, you're going to reap the whirlwind. Now, you mark my words. Go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry.
Their church was a haven for immigrant children, yet the parents of several of these kids were deported. The children have been left behind, and upon information and belief, many of them are now missing.
Let's stop right now. What the hell does that have to do with T.D. Jakes and his church? If people deported undocumented immigrants, that has nothing to do with T.D. Jakes and his ministry. You know what this is, you all? This is him. God help me. Lord help me. Help me. This is him playing with the court system. This is all of these co-conspirators and all of these people piling on, and they're playing a game in all of our faces. And you all need to keep the main thing. And I'm really serious about this, you all. Everything that you have heard up until this point is a distraction. It is to keep us off of the fact that there was a $6 million request letter that was sent to Bishop T.D. Jakes, and they tried to extort this man for money. A tier 3 registered sex offender did that. And we need to keep that at the forefront of this situation. I'm sick of all of these semantics, and I hope the judge hits this man so hard, because with this, I think he sealed his own fate. But go ahead, Daryl.
Cora Jakes, in particular, has been accused of manipulating a vulnerable friend who trusted her into giving Cora Jakes custody of their children and engaging in other forms of physical abuse of her adopted daughter. My inquiry regarding the waiver of service was fully within the bounds of professional correspondence. Mr. Push's decision to present it as a threat is both dishonest and defamatory. From the inception of this lawsuit, I informed Mr. Push that I'm planning to file a class action lawsuit for several male sexual assault survivors, including plaintiff T.D. Jakes. Dustin Push created Mr. Jakes' present reality by foolishly filing this suit against Mr. Youngblood in hopes of bullying him into signing away his right to speak publicly of the childhood trauma visited upon him by T.D. Jakes. Unfortunately, plaintiff Jakes failed to anticipate the avalanche of survivors who would come forward with evidence of plaintiff grooming, sexually assaulting, sexting, and transporting them across state lines in violation of the Mann Act.
Let's stop right there.
Now Jakes is soliciting hoes.
Right. And now this is what he done picked up from the P. Diddy case. Now he's saying he's transporting him across state lines, because now he's trying to add to this situation and beef up this case against him. Now we realize that he threatened that class action foolishness, but thus far, ladies and gentlemen, all of these people that he's claimed to have all of this information and all of this proof, where has it been? He said all of that stuff when he filed this original lawsuit, and then a bunch of people who filed these affidavits, almost every single one of them except one, Dwayne Youngblood's wife, was a criminal and has gone to jail and been put in jail. Okay. And we need to keep that in mind. All of this other stuff that these people are saying is just a bunch of foolishness. It's a bunch of foolishness. Now you're trying to get Bishop T.D. Jakes on sex trafficking is in essence what you're trying to say. Now you want him to be hemmed up on the Mann Act. Okay. All right. Let's go on, Daryl.
One of the accusers is now Mr. Jakes' former son-in-law, Richard Brandon Coleman.
Stop. Mr. Coleman is in jail, y'all, just so you know.
30 years.
So this man done dug up Richard Brandon Coleman, and he's now going to try to bring this criminal and into this situation. This ain't nothing but a bunch of criminal activity and conspiracy. I don't care what nobody says. And this is to convolute the whole situation. Oh, God, help me. Go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry.
Dustin Push and T.D. Jakes know that they could never intimidate me from representing Mr. Coleman and the other men who have valid claims against Mr. Jakes. Even if Mr. Push was able to hinder my law license, which he cannot, I will continue to pursue plaintiff Jakes, even if all I have is a bullhorn in front of the U.S. Department of Justice. Even if there is no financial recovery in my forthcoming litigations against Mr. Jakes, I do not care so long as my clients have their day in court, can file their criminal complaints, and their claims are investigated by law enforcement. I will get justice for my clients.
So stop right there. You say you will continue to pursue Plaintiff Jakes, even though thus far in the case that you're supposed to now be representing a tier 3 sex offender, you've had no evidence at all to submit to this court to prove a single thing regarding your client. And so now you are now trying to add on an additional person, saying that now you have new evidence because you done went out and dug up and went on the internet and found some complaints that other people have made regarding Bishop T.D. Jakes. And now you think that some kind of way this is going to bolster your claim against Bishop T.D. Jakes. I am not even a fan of Bishop T.D. Jakes, and I can literally tell you this is bullshit.
All the way.
And to be honest with you, to see our legal system used in this manner is so profoundly abusive and disrespectful. I am rendered speechless. I am literally speechless on this.
Go up, scroll up for me. Dustin Push and T.D. Jakes know that they could never go up. I mean, scroll to the bottom. I'm sorry.
You mean go down?
Down.
Okay.
There we go. This court should not entertain Mr. Push's desperate and abusive litigation tactic. Mr. Push has already demonstrated a pattern of bad faith conduct, filing a baseless grievance in a jurisdiction irrelevant to this litigation, intentionally mischaracterizing the waiver of service email, compounding motion practice for the sole purpose of driving up his fees, and repeatedly, that's what he worried about, that money, and repeatedly using the court's process to launch personal attacks against opposing counsel. His request for a reply is yet another example of these improper acts. As the Supreme Court explained, blah, blah, blah. When
now, I want you to understand, he's now listing additional case law. Now, y'all know that done got his ass in trouble over and over again, right? Trust me, you about to hear the response of T.D. Jakes' team, and that's going to blow your mind too. Here we go.
Where there is bad faith conduct in the course of litigation that could be adequately sanctioned under the rules, courts ordinarily should rely on those rules. However, if in the informed discretion of the court, neither the statute nor the rules are up to the task, the court may safely rely on its inherent power. In chambers, the district court properly invoked its inherent power to shift attorney's fees and related expenses where the litigant pursued a campaign of harassment and oppressive tactics to exhaust his adversary.
Now, wait a minute. Would you not agree, ladies and gentlemen, that Tyrone Blackburn has been doing and using his inherent power to shift the responsibility of him and his client to actually prove their case? And they've been doing so since November of last year, and not taking on the legal responsibility of submitting proper documentation to the court in order to legitimize his client's claim. And therefore, he has been bogging down this court case with a bunch of ridiculous stuff that he had to admit in court was improper, inaccurate, and was absolutely wrong. It was hallucinations. He doubled down on his stuff. And now he is trying to say that T.D. Jakes' team is the one that are using their inherent power against him, when he's been using, in my opinion, his inherent power to file baseless lawsuits, and baseless replies, and to bog down the system with all of this foolishness. Somebody, I grew up in the old church. We used to have an old song that says somebody's right and somebody's wrong. Somebody's right and somebody's wrong. And I'm sorry, in my opinion,
pages of foolishness.
Yeah, we know who's wrong here. Go ahead, Daryl. I'm sorry.
The conduct displayed by plaintiff's counsel here, weaponizing grievance systems, misrepresenting emails to the court, and filing baseless replies is well within the bounds of bad faith litigation practice. This court has both the authority and duty to rein it in. For the foregoing reasons, plaintiff's request for leave to file reply must be denied in its entirety. It serves no valid legal function and furthers a campaign of harassment and retaliation against undersigned counsel for daring to represent defendant and to give voice to plaintiff's other victims. Should the court permit plaintiff to file his reply, I respectfully request leave to file a substantive response and to move for appropriate sanction against Dustin Push under Rule 28.
So now he wants to have Dustin Push sanctioned because he's being sanctioned. So this is a tit for tat.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his situation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am about to submit to you what Mr. Poosh submitted, hey Regina, to the court, and this is epic. Do you hear me? This is the seal of the deal for me, and this is where we're gonna hang our head. And we're only 29 minutes in. All you spent so far with me is 29 minutes. Hit the like button, please. I'm trying to keep you informed, ladies and gentlemen. This is T.D. Jakes' attorney's response to Tyrone Blackburn.
Mm-mm. You got it up?
I got it up, sir. It's up. You want me to go? I can try, because you know I'm gonna get
Go on
mad.
and try. Go on and try. Read
All
the
right,
book.
because you know I'm gonna get mad through this. Plaintiff Bishop Thomas Dexter Jakes requests leave to file a reply to Tyrone Blackburn's untimely opposition to the plaintiff's motion for fees. To set the record straight,
It's
and
not
to
on the screen, Marcel.
it is on the screen.
Oh, that's the one I read.
Oh, there. Y'all see it? It should be on there now. To set the record straight and to refute unwarranted aspersions cast on plaintiff's counsel, if granted leave, plaintiff would make the points that follow. So T.D. Jakes' attorneys are so good. All they did was go ahead and we're going to list these points. Pay attention to these points, because these points should smack the judge in the face. Listen at these points. First, the New Jersey bar referral, which Blackburn complains about, was not submitted in bad faith. Contrary to his representations, Blackburn is not a member of the DC bar, which the organization has now confirmed repeatedly, once in writing. And DC Bar Ethics Council advised plaintiffs' counsel that we had a duty to report the false bar membership claim to the relevant state bars under Rule 8.3, which Blackburn knows because it was explained in the New Jersey bar referral, which he filed with this court. Thus, contrary to Blackburn's claim, the New Jersey bar referral was not submitted for an improper purpose in good faith and to fulfill counsel's own ethical obligations. Now, let me stop you right there. Any of us who have a license with a state of any sort, if you are licensed in any business entity, if you are required to have a license, pay fees to renew that license. If you are required to have continuing education to maintain that license, all of us know it is illegal for you to put on letterheads, business cards, and all sorts of things representing yourself in any form or fashion when your license is not up to date and you are not licensed in the particular area, state where you are claiming to be licensed. It is against the law. So if I, as a financial planner, would put on my paperwork, I am licensed in the state of Virginia, although I'm only licensed in the state of California, that is a misrepresentation and it is against the law. If I put that on a letterhead, if I put it on a business card, if I put it anywhere, I am breaking the law, ladies and gentlemen. So I need for you all to understand, it doesn't matter what the hell Tyrone Blackburn says right now. He know darn well that he is lying and he is misrepresenting his profession, and he's lying. His ethical obligation is to make sure that whatever his letterhead, whatever his website, whatever his business's entity state, that he does not say he's licensed in states and in places that he does not have a professional license, point blank and period. Okay? Second, Blackburn's recent conduct belies his claims of contrition and good character. When plaintiff requested consent to file this motion for leave, Blackburn responded by calling the case a waste of his time and threatening Bishop Jakes' daughter.
Cora!
Okay?
I'm going to have to go get him.
So understand, ladies and gentlemen, while in the midst of asking the judge to give him continuing education and allow him to pay absolutely no fees whatsoever, he doubles down on his claims against T.D. Jakes, and now he brings into the equation his family members and now his church. He brings in a man who is now serving prison time for sex crimes against children. He brings him into this court case and doubles down on it and calls it a waste of his time. He wrote that he did not consent. He said, I am no longer wasting my time with you or this case. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Because he knows that his goose is cooked as it relates to Dwayne Youngblood, he now is seeking additional plaintiffs that can come out here and give some erroneous claims against Bishop T.D. Jakes. You know why I never covered the story with that lady crying all in her car talking about Cora Jakes done stole my baby and all this other foolishness? You know why I never covered that case? Because it takes a lot of things in order for someone to have someone else's child. You got to go through a whole lot of process. Shout out to my niece. Shout out, baby girl. I see you in here. And now, pay attention, niece, because you asked me about this a long time ago. So now Tyrone Blackburn wants to bring in Cora Jakes and this case regarding this quote-unquote baby that this lady done lied concerned to my they done stole her kid. You can't steal nobody's child, ladies and gentlemen. That's just stupid. Anybody with any adult understands there is a process to getting legal representations for a child, okay?
Exactly, Stephanie. He filed it. So what does he mean it's a waste of time of his
Correct.
time?
That's correct. And so now he admits that his own case that he filed was a waste of time. Okay, let's continue. Okay, Stephanie. Good point, Stephanie. He said, as an aside, please ask your client, Mr. Jakes, if he and his daughter will be willing to waive service of process for the upcoming lawsuit that I will file on behalf of Richard Brandon Coleman. Coleman is plaintiff's daughter's abusive ex-husband. Now, you're admitting that the man was abusive in your filing, who is currently serving 20 years in Texas State Prison for child SA crimes with a projected release date of 2042. Now, explain to me how stupid you have to be, ladies and gentlemen, to admit to the judge and the court that you are now threatening T.D. Jakes and his daughter with a criminal who is in prison currently serving time and will not be released until 2042 with an additional lawsuit against one of America's foremost preachers in the country. How dumb do you have to be? Now get this, ladies and gentlemen. That's just point number 2. Let's move on to point number 3. Despite this court's repeated admonitions about grievous citation errors across multiple filings, Blackburn has again misrepresented cited cases. So guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Even in the reply that we just read, according to T.D. Jakes' attorney, he is now using AI again and misrepresenting the court cases again, all while asking the judge not to hit him with fees and to just let him do continuing education. Did y'all hear what I said? Did y'all hear what I said? He's doing it again, ladies and gentlemen. He's doing it again, according to T.D. Jakes' attorney. He says, as we are sure this court already discovered, for one, Blackburn states that the court in the Johnson versus Dunn only ordered corrective education. Guess what? According to T.D. Jakes' attorney, that is false. The court also disqualified the attorneys and referred their misconduct to applicable licensing authorities. So not only did they order corrective measures, but they also reported their behinds to the licensing authorities to deal with them for sanctions, with Blackburn presumably objects or he omits. He doesn't even bring that out into his filing. So he's omitting stuff again. Now, ladies and gentlemen, isn't that the whole reason why we're here? Is because he's been omitting information and omitting stuff from the filings? Isn't that why we're here? I'm just saying. Oh, Basha. Blackburn again quoted language from the case that does not even appear in the decision. Guess what? So then T.D. Jakes' attorneys is telling the judge again and quoting the case law and telling the judge he's also adding additional stuff that wasn't even in the case. Ain't that why we're talking about these fees in the first place, mother? That's why we're here. Daryl, that's why we're here.
All the day.
Yes, Stephanie, he said he gonna file this and do this for the dude that's in prison. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on. He said the court never used, and he lists this out for him, the words lied to the court and showed no remorse as Blackburn represents. Rather, lied to the court appears only in the head notes and showed no remorse appears nowhere in the document. So it says he's lying about that again, according to T.D. Jakes. And then they list the court case. And I'm more apt to listen to T.D. Jakes' attorneys at this point, ladies and gentlemen. I ain't listening to shit Tyrone Blackburn says. Not a darn thing. While the case may reflect these sentiments, Lord help me, this example refutes Blackburn's claim to now understand that paraphrases, particularly those closely tracking the language from cases, must never be enclosed in quotation marks. So in other words, T.D. Jakes' attorneys are now informing the judge again that Tyrone Blackburn has not learned from his previous mistakes, because now he is quoting case law again and encapsulating the case law with those quotation marks. So the very same reason that he was hit with a $76,000 fee that he has to pay to T.D. Jakes' attorneys, he is exhibiting the same behavior again, now while requesting the judge to no longer allow him to pay these fees, but to only get continuing education and no fees whatsoever. Now, if you want to talk about an Aruda Baduki moment, this is an Aruda Baduki moment if I've ever seen one, heard one, know one. This is insanity.
Yeah, Mom, it's Aruda Baduki.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was just the third point. Let's move on to point number 4. And it just keeps coming, ladies and gentlemen. Number 4, plaintiff again notes that Blackburn's claim to have acknowledged his error immediately and demonstrated remorse and corrective action is false. What did I tell y'all a long time ago? Didn't I tell y'all he did not do what he claimed to do in that letter? Didn't I tell y'all that? Because that's false. Because he said in May he recognized his mistake, but he did not do anything until July, the month of July. So he let May go by, he let June go by, he let July, the mid part of July. I believe his first continuing ed course that he took was on the 18th of July.
Yep.
Don't quote me specifically, but that's what sticks in my brain. I might be off with the date. But he only took 3 courses or 3 classes. That's because he knew he had been hit with sanctions and he had to then go to court. And he wanted it, in my opinion, to make it look like he was taking corrective measures in order to correct his behavior. Now, to the adults in the room and to people who cognitively do not suffer from the slow man's disease, to the people who do not have marshmallow toes and who have not been seen by the return of the Jedi, pick up what I'm putting down. To the people who do not ride My Little Pony,
the people with pre-autopsy years.
Now listen to me carefully. To the dumb people, y'all listen to me very carefully. I don't think I'm the smartest person in the room. Trust me, I really don't. But I know how to read. I know how to comprehend. There were classes in school that we took in order to be able to comprehend There were comprehension classes we had to take. I don't know if some of you did well in those classes, but just let me tell you something. This does not take a rocket science to comprehend what is being presented to us. And any rational thinking grown-up will have to come to the conclusion that Tyrone Blackburn did not take corrective measures until he was hit with the Rule 11 sanctions that were submitted by T.D. Jakes' attorneys to stop all of this AI generated foolishness. And then all of a sudden he was like, oh, I admit that I made all those mistakes. And oh, I'll admit I was wrong, Your Honor. And Your Honor, my brother's in the military, my cousin's in the military, and all them stories that he told. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know I read it to you. And if you're new to this channel and you coming by this video, I got a whole playlist. You need to go back and watch. We done tried to keep you guys as up to date on this stuff as we can. This is a level of bullshit that I have to tell you. I have to tell you. I have not seen anybody be this stupid until I had to catch a child with a sucker in their hand. And the child look at me and tell me that the child didn't have the sucker in their hand, knowing full well that the sucker was in their hand. And the child looked at me and told me, what sucker? And they were holding on to the sucker. And in my mind, y'all, honestly, it was like a zip in the matrix. I almost went crazy because I'm like, you're holding the sucker. Tyrone Blackburn, you've admitted to the mistakes, you dummy. You're holding the sucker. You're holding your misrepresentations. You're holding your AI usage. Tyrone Blackburn, you're holding all of these things in front of the judge that you've already admitted to. And now you're trying to convince the judge that you've demonstrated remorse after coming back and telling T.D. Jakes and his family that you're going to hit them with an additional lawsuit? Ladies and gentlemen, who could be this stupid?
Him?
Let's go on. As the court knows, his reply doubled down on the misconduct and falsely accused plaintiff's counsel of engaging in misconduct as well. He took the same approach here, falsely accusing counsel of submitting a bad faith bar grievance, knowingly that they were advised of their duty to report the situation. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, Blackburn filed his opposition nearly 2 weeks late. And one of you guys in the chat brought this up to me, and I didn't know at the time whether or not that was accurate, so I didn't say anything. But apparently, T.D. Jakes' attorneys are now confirming that when he filed his paperwork, he was 2 weeks late with the damn filing.
And the judge allowed it. Didn't have to.
So not only are you late, not only are you disregarding the judge's information, you're doubling down on your foolishness, and now you're threatening this man with an additional lawsuit with a man who is in jail and who has been convicted of SA crimes against children. And you're coming with another criminal so you can continue to perpetuate this stuff. And you're telling the judge in this document, you will stand outside in front of the court building with a bullhorn until your clients get justice. Your client already had his day in court, and there was no justice to give him except for him to go to jail and not get out until 2042.
Ongoing criminal enterprise.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a conspiracy going on here. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Think it not strange, ladies and gentlemen, that on the same day that this was filed, this paperwork was filed yesterday, you all. I just so happened to be talking, I think, to Daryl and them. And I said, well, let me go and look and see if there's any new paperwork. And I got so confused looking. I said, well, there's 2 additional documents. I said, where these documents come from? I pull up the documents. I go, you must be kidding. And we sitting there reading the documents to ourselves, and we are flabbergasted. We are literally flabbergasted. I'm going to drop the link for any of you others that would like to chime in. You know, I always give everybody an opportunity. But y'all listen to me. This is the most asinine stuff I've ever seen in my life. Now, I'm not a perfect man. I'll tell you that. I've made mistakes in my life. I've never done everything perfect. I've never crossed all my T's and dotted all my I's. But one thing I will tell you is that if I'm caught in the lie, I will not stand there and hold on to my lie. If I'm caught in the lie, something is mentally wrong with you. If you will stand in front of the judge and the court, admit to your wrongdoing, then turn around and refile documents as if you never was wrong in the first place. I am with you, Moni. I cannot believe what I am reading, you all. My brain is fried. My brain is fried. I have no words for what we are looking at and what we are reading. Y'all tell me, because maybe I got a therapist out there in that's watching me. Somebody who's licensed. I ain't talking about the therapist like Dr. Scrotum Sniffer. I'm talking about somebody who got a real degree. Maybe you can come up here and help me, because there is a level of cognitive dissonance here that I just cannot wrap my head around. How do you go into court in one instance and tell the judge you lied, and then come right back out and file another brief saying that the folks lied on you? I don't understand, y'all. Is it me? Is it me? If the judge don't hit him, and you know what? I think the judge, for me, now this is just me, this takes additional time and costs T.D. Jakes attorneys additional more money. The judge needs to hike these fees up even more for this bullshit right here, because now they have to take out more time to reply to this. So T.D. Jakes' attorneys are so sure of what they said. The last line that they, in conclusion, this is what it said to the judge. Accordingly, plaintiff respectfully requests that this court grant leave to file a reply containing the foregoing material, or alternatively, consider this filing as the reply. They say, Your Honor, we're so confident in what we have told you with these 4 or 5 things, that these 5 things take care of every single thing that Tyrone Blackburn put in his document, because we really don't need to file nothing else, because we done listed this out so well for you that we don't need to say nothing else.
That's it.
And it's crazy to me. Shout out to Stephanie. Stephanie, you live on the Mad Church Disease podcast. Sound off.
Oh, thank you. Now, okay, I'm a lawyer and I live in Texas, and I need to know what he's trying to do for this gentleman who's been placed in the penitentiary for doing unspeakable things to children. What is he trying to do? What is the basis of him filing a suit on behalf of this man?
He said so he could have his day in court, and he could line them up so that they can see all the victims that T.D. Jakes and his church have in their way, and all of the immigrants that have just disappeared and don't nobody know where they are. They just disappear.
So is the dude in the joint claiming that he's another victim of abuse by T.D. Jakes?
That is correct.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's it's an unspoken rule, it's just a tip. It's not really a rule of ethics or a rule of practice, but smart lawyers tend to find good plaintiffs to file lawsuits on behalf of. We don't file lawsuits on behalf of people who are naturally unsympathetic. We don't really try to take those to court and get and use them sort of exemplary to I guess get justice against somebody if we feel like they're actually problematic, or they're actually doing things to hurt people. You don't go out and get the worst person on earth to try to wage those claims with on behalf of, right? You don't do that. And so far he's picked the 2 people who we consider some of the worst people on earth to use them to allegedly, right, according to them, get I don't know how you would say it. See, I'm failing as a lawyer right now. To hold T.D. Jakes accountable for what he's done, right? Allegedly. They found the 2 worst people on earth to try to do that with, right? Because these are incredibly unsympathetic people. Incredibly. I don't know what kind of idiot lawyer would do that. you have to find somebody that a jury is going to actually have sympathy for. You're going to have somebody a jury would actually believe. They're not going to believe these people. Neither one of them.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'll be honest with you, Stephanie, because I love a lot of crime drama. As I get older, all of these jailhouse confessions are even starting to rub me the wrong way. When they bring
Right.
when they bring people in from the jail to someone, oh well, he was in the cell with me and he admitted to all of this and blah blah blah. I'm now starting to see those jailhouse confessions in a completely different light.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
we
Oh,
need to,
yeah.
yeah, these jailhouse confessions need to they need to be put under a huge microscope, and the lawyers who participate in these jailhouse confessions, I'm sorry, some of these things that I'm hearing, I'm like, that's bull.
Yeah. It's we actually have to have well, usually in criminal cases it's the state using jailhouse confessions, right?
Right.
And in Texas we passed special legislation to regulate how prosecutors can use them because it really was out of control. You really can't offer somebody in jail or in prison just about anything to help them. We don't know what kind of agreement Tyrone made with this jailhouse, informant. We don't know what kind of benefits. Usually with the state, they're giving them some kind of plea offer, right, or some kind of help to reduce their sentence, or help them get a better deal. But we don't know what kind of agreement Tyrone Blackburn made with this person who says he heard everything from Youngblood or whoever. And that's another problematic thing because those things need to be transparent. You can't have a
Absolutely.
secret deal with a witness.
Well, here's my thing. Now you interject Cora Jakes into a case that has
Ah,
nothing to do with her. Nothing
And
to do
that's
with her.
and that's regarding the baby she adopted, right? The child she adopted.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Do they not? The adoption is not a theft of a child. Adoption is not a theft of a child. It's a long, drawn out process that has to be done in court. It has to
Correct.
be
yep.
done correctly. There are rules that have to be abided by. Long rules. I mean, there's a whole portion in every state's family code that's long that you have to abide by to do an adoption. And usually, if it's an adoption from a parent or from a biological parent who's not willing to give to put the baby up for adoption, it's because their rights have been terminated by the state for very good reason, which is also done according to long procedural rules and very strict legislation. You can't. That's not a theft of a child. That's not a
Correct.
theft of a child. If you are willing to give that baby up for adoption, the baby went up for adoption because the state decided that you could literally not parent that child ever again.
Correct.
There
Correct.
it is.
And you can cry all in the car. You can go around on as many podcasts as will have you. You can get on YouTube, Facebook, all these other things. First of all, I'm not listening to that woman because I know that. And just like you know that. That's why I didn't waste my time listening to her videos. I think I might have listened to like a few minutes of her ranting and raving one time, talking about they stole her kid and all this foolishness. Let me tell you, it's impossible to steal somebody's child, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, right.
It's impossible. It's impossible.
Because if they literally did steal the child, then the state would have something to say about that. Because that's called kidnapping. It's called kidnapping. And so, if that's what you think really happened, then make a police report and say
Right.
they kidnapped my child, and then we could go from there.
And,
You
and,
know,
it,
it,
and listen, not to cut you off, Stephanie, because I want to
no,
answer this
no,
question. Now, listen here, Kelly G. If what you're saying is true, let's say what you're saying is true, this would be provable in a court of
right,
law.
absolutely,
So all of these preconceived notions and all of these things that people have been saying all over the internet, I'm willing to give this lady the benefit of the doubt. All I'm saying is take your black behind to court and prove what you are saying. The court of public opinion doesn't matter. Go to court and prove what you are saying.
Just that simple.
And Kelly,
right.
I respect your opinion, and I'm with you, Kelly. I get what you're saying. You and I love you. I ain't even fighting you on the matter. All I'm saying is the lady needs to go to court and prove what she's saying. Crying in her car ain't gonna solve nothing.
Nothing.
And if that's true, if there's been family law judges that not only signed the adoption but terminated her rights as well, or or signing adoption without her rights being terminated. That is a not only a monumental ethical violation, it's a crime. That judge is going to go to prison. The participants are going to go to prison. Like, that is a crime, a huge crime. And so, that's not something if there was no proceedings and there was just paperwork signed, in the chambers or whatever, we're going to be able to find that out very, very easily, very easily.
Correct.
I don't understand how that could be something that could be covered up. It literally can't be.
I agree. Stephanie, I'm so baffled by this. The unmitigated gall of this attorney, this living room law firm, to come on here and continue to perpetuate this foolishness is beyond my ability to comprehend, you all. When I tell you I'm broken. I'm mentally fragmented. I'm like a puzzle piece over here. Somebody is literally going to have to come and put the pieces back together for me, because I am literally lost at how this man could do what he is doing in this court system. Stephanie, I don't know. Maybe you all experience this on an ongoing basis, and maybe that's what funds the court system, is these false allegations and these false filings, and that's what. And now we realize why the court can get to new cases so too often, because look what they have to deal with. Look what the court has to deal with.
I've seen a lot of clownery. I've seen a lot of foolishness. I've seen a lot of, but not to this scale. Not to this scale, and not repeatedly, and not so public where it's so obvious. And we've seen this from the day he hit the scene with T.I. I'm sorry, but he's done about 3 or 4 cases that were silly. I mean, just silly and false, and and provably, like, he every single person he's tried to take has been avenged. He's been proved wrong several times, and so I've never seen anything like this. No, I've never seen anything like this.
Stephanie, just to my point that I made earlier regarding the license, can you speak about the individuals who are licensed by any state or organization, and letterhead, business cards, and how that information, it is against the law to display a license and say you're licensed somewhere you're not licensed?
I mean, not only is it illegal and unethical, it's deceptive, right? It's deceptive, and it's intentional. Things cannot get on your card without you approving it. Who
Correct.
printed the damn thing?
Right.
You say the print shop put it on there after you sent the draft to the print shop? They put it on there against your will. Who put it on there? How did it get on there? And you know where you're licensed and where you're not. You know where. I wouldn't just all of a sudden wake up one day and be like, oh, didn't I get licensed in Minnesota and put that on my card? I know where I've been licensed.
Well, Stephanie, in the letter, he says he was licensed in D.C., but he was sworn in New York.
New Jersey.
Or New Jersey.
No. I mean, you can get a reciprocal license, but you still have to go to the state to be sworn in where you're getting your reciprocity.
I don't know, Stephanie. You help me figure it out. I know in the financial sector side of things, if I want to be licensed in the state of North Carolina, I have to go fill out some paperwork. Now, because I'm already licensed in the state of California, or was licensed, because now my license is inactive. But when I later on in the year, when I renew my license and get it active again, I can go file some paperwork in the state of North Carolina and say, hey, I'd like to be licensed in the state of North Carolina. All for me to do is to sign a piece of paper. And they give me a license to operate in the state of North Carolina, right?
Right.
So here comes the situation. And my question, because now I'm really confused by him. What he is in essence trying to say is he got sworn in New Jersey to be licensed in D.C.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of being sworn in a different jurisdiction than the one that you're gaining licensure in. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, me neither.
I've never heard of that.
Me neither. It's amazing to me. That's all I'm saying. I'm just
it's wild. I mean, and anyway, the State Bar of Washington, D.C. would have to have accepted him. Is there any records of him being accepted into that bar?
Good question.
Nope.
And I think that's an applicable question. But you know what? He's expecting for the judge to give him another hearing and for them to come in and probably, pound this out. And all while we're doing this, Dwayne Youngblood, these co-conspirators, and all of these people they're trying to get all their ducks in a row so that they can try to prove T.D. Jakes to be something that we don't know whether he is or not. But based on what we see as far as this court case is concerned, this is some bull. So
Yeah.
I think it gives the co-conspirators way more time, and the judge should get wind of this stuff and stop allowing this man to keep filing all of these ridiculous responses.
Yeah, yeah. And at some point, I don't know what the procedure would be in another jurisdiction, but at some point, even lawyers in Texas can be declared vexatious litigants, where,
Mhm.
at some point, if you're declared a vexatious litigant because of your history of filing ridiculous things, and things aren't going to be successful, they're just so blatant on their face that you can't win, then you are get labeled a vexatious litigant legally, and that after that everything you file has to be scrutinized to a certain extent before it's accepted by the court, before it can
Right.
proceed.
Yeah, I'm confused. I don't know if you all are confused. I'm
Very.
so confused by what Tyrone Blackburn is doing. This is baffling to me.
It,
Uh,
it, it's on a level I've never seen anything like this. I've seen a lot, but I've never seen this.
Me too. Listen here, I'm not an expert. I'm gonna say like that beautiful young lady does on YouTube. I'm not a lawyer, but
Right,
I'm not a
right.
lawyer, but this is crazy.
I mean, and there's that lawyer is correct that we have a mandatory duty. If we are seeing unethical behavior on the part of our colleagues, we are mandatory reporters of that. We don't have a choice. We don't have
Right.
a choice. I myself have thought about, like, I'm seeing these when he was doing the stuff to Ti and Nicki Minaj, and it's not because I'm fans, but because I could see so much on his face and it was just so blatantly predatory. I was thinking, like, do I need to report this guy? Like, I don't know, what to do, because it's like everybody else at first was buying it. And I was thinking, like, dude, this guy, you know, I don't know. Like, there's so much I was seeing that I was like, do I need to report him to the New York bar? Like, it was
But
so
he's doing the
blatant.
same thing, Stephanie, to Fat Joe. He's got a whole nother case
Yep,
that he's doing. So this man is a repeat offender.
absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, that lawyer had no choice. And other lawyers who deal with him from now on, they're going to have no choice either. He's going to be in front of that bar so often unless he cuts it out.
I just don't understand how he's able to still practice law with all of
I
this
don't
stuff.
either.
This is
I don't
crazy.
either.
I mean, what is it going to have to take, Stephanie? An act of God? Is God going to have to drop an anvil on his head? Like, what in the world is it going to take?
I don't know if it's greed or if it's just, I don't know. I can't even fathom, like, how he would go about just lying to this extent. And thinking, like, what? Nothing's going to happen. And he just keeps digging his hole worse and worse. It's like, hey, dude, your shovel is worn out. Do you need a new shovel to continue to dig this hole for yourself? Like, what are we doing?
Right. I don't even have nothing else to say.
I'm speechless. I'm speechless. I've
I
been
am too.
speechless. I continue to be speechless. So, oh my gosh. But with that, I'm going to get out of y'all's hair. Although neither one of y'all have
Yeah,
any, but
no,
I'm going to get out of y'all's hair.
No, it's
But
fine.
thank you for having me up. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming, Steph. You know I
It's
appreciate
good to
you.
see both of y'all.
Good to see you
Thank
as well.
you.
I love having an attorney, somebody who practices law, to help us and hang around us. I really do appreciate you, Stephanie, for being here from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Well, thank
Um,
y'all for covering the story. You're doing a great job.
this is
thank you.
crazy, Daryl.
It's insane.
What
It's
more can we
insane.
say? I don't have nothing else to say, Daryl.
I don't either, except I've never seen anything like this. That's all I can say at this point. I've never seen
As,
anything like this. I'm
as
stunned
an
and shocked.
attorney, as an
I'm
attorney,
shocked
if
and
you have,
awed.
yep, and as an attorney, if you haven't seen, ain't no, oh God, I can only imagine.
Man, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've seen a lot of clowning. I've seen a lot of foolery, but I've never seen anything like this. Not at this level.
I think
Wow.
he's going to lose his license. Do you think he's going to lose his license?
I mean, eventually, if he don't stop, I don't see what choice they're going to have. You can only continually educate somebody to the extent that it's going to work. And if it's shown that it's not working, or sanctioning somebody with money to the extent that it works, but they have to ratchet up the consequences every time. And, like, dude, I mean, he might get like a probated suspension for a while, but then if he messes that up too, then they're going to yank it. I mean, yeah, they're not going to just probably jump to suspending his license or disbarring him. But
Mhm.
like, if they continue to impose consequences and it doesn't help or he doesn't fulfill them, he's going to get to the level where they're going to have to be like, what else can we do, guy? What else
Right.
can we do?
Well,
Mm.
Steph,
You
let me
know?
add this. Let me add this to it. In TD Jakes's lawyer's response, they replied to the fact that Tyrone Blackburn is saying that the onus was put on them to now send Tyrone an email and to inquire with Tyrone about whether or not he was licensed in the state of DC. And
Right.
so now it becomes the responsibility of TD Jakes' attorneys to now verify the information that he put on his letterhead and that
Yep.
he's been out here quoting. So now he's trying to say it's their responsibility that they had to send him an email. Sir, no. No, 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 sir. I believe this information didn't go out on the $6 million request letter. And when they tried to reach out to you, Tyrone Blackburn, at one point you told these people to pound sand. You told them to kick rocks when they were trying to get in touch with you. I'm just saying.
It is not my responsibility to find out if someone purporting to be a lawyer in a certain jurisdiction is actually a lawyer. I have a good faith ability to accept that. I mean, I have an ability to accept that in good faith. And it's not, I mean, I don't have a duty to go out there and find out if you're actually licensed where you're saying you're licensed. I
Mm.
don't have that duty. You have a
Right.
duty to not say you're not licensed and somewhere you're
Exactly.
licensed.
Exactly. Exactly.
Wow.
I,
Everything is everybody else's fault. It's never Tyrone's fault.
exactly. And that's the part that just baffles my mind. And I get completely confused by his responses. It confuses me to the place to where I'm baffled. Stay put, Stephanie.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome to the platform, Kelly G. Kelly G, you now have the microphone.
Hey y'all, how's everybody doing?
We're doing
Good,
great.
good,
Thank you
good.
so much for
Hi.
coming up, Kelly G.
Hey. So listen, while y'all were talking about Tyrone and what might happen to him, I thought about during the YSL trial, I was watching that daily. And
Mhm.
so one of the attorneys who represented Woody, his first attorney,
Uh-huh.
was suspended
Correct.
mid-trial.
I remember.
So why is it that Tyrone is getting so many chances, but in Atlanta, this lawyer, mid-trial, they didn't care if he was in the middle of a trial, was suspended for 6 months. His law license was taken away. And it was something about he took money and I don't think he showed up to represent the client or something like that. But it was just like, we don't care what else you're doing, what else you're working on right now. You're sitting down for 6 months. So why does
Right.
Tyrone get so many chances?
And that's a good question, but that's when Kayla, I think her name is Kayla, they assigned the judge, the first
Yep.
judge, the one that didn't get kicked off until he got kicked off. He assigned Kayla to Woody because that's how Woody, even though all of these people had known each other before, when you really get into that YSL case, that case was a whole mess. But I definitely know what you're asking, Kelly, and that's a really valid question. I yield to Stephanie. Stephanie, you are an attorney. Can you help us out here, Stephanie? Because I don't know if you kept up with the YSL stuff, Steph, but why is he getting so many chances, Steph?
Well, I can't really speak to the actual facts of what happened with the lawyer involved in YSL, except that if money was involved, if the taking of money and not doing your due diligence to represent the client, most bars look on that as a very serious ethical violation because money is involved.
Right.
Anytime the exchange of money is involved, and I know like there ostensibly money is involved in this case with Tyrone because he's asking for money, but he actually hasn't. They can't necessarily prove that he's taken money in this instance. It's just that he's seeking it, right? But
Right.
if there's actually a taking of money and no work has been done on the case, or the case has been neglected, or there is actually intentional disregard of the client, most bars look very, very, very harshly on such things.
Mm.
Um, Money is always a big issue for state bars. But also, the jurisdiction is different, and so the committees, however it's structured, that governs discipline of lawyers, they're all different. And so
Oh, I get that. Well, okay, Steph, how about this? Why would a judge, in the middle of you asking him to not hit you with any attorney's fees and just allow you to continue in ed, and to let the fees go while you then respond, and in your response, you misquote the law, you repeat the process of AI usage in quotations, and you then threaten the person who is now in the lawsuit again, and you double down on your assertions and claims against this particular client, all while being removed from the case and claiming to have been removed from the case. Why would the judge not give him these fees? In what feasible mindset do you see the judge saying, nah, we'll just let you do continuing education?
I think the judge would say, well, I would imagine that the judge is going to say, look, I assessed you these fees for a reason. And if you wanted me to alleviate these from you, then you need to stop the behavior. So not only should I not alleviate these fees, I might add some because you're obviously flagrantly disregarding why I hit you with these fees. You're flagrantly disregarding the fact that I want you to change your behavior. And so why should I give you another chance? But at the same time, like a judge's discipline or a judge's sanctioning of a lawyer is not the same as a committee disciplinary,
Right.
whatever, however they call it in whatever state. Here it's the Council for Disciplinary Procedure. Whatever they call it in that state, that's a separate procedure, and they're really the only ones that can disbar an attorney.
Now,
So he might be.
I'm not an attorney, Stephanie, but from my understanding, these are just the attorney's fees that they're requesting. These aren't any sanctioned fees that he's having to pay. These are just the attorney's fees. Am I understanding that correctly, or do I not understand that?
Okay, I thought he had sanctioned him, but sanctions can sometimes be attorney's fees because I mean
Oh, okay.
it's a little bit different because sanctions are usually given to the opposing party, but they're not necessarily labeled attorney's fees. But it can be a kind of discipline to assess attorney's fees because that way you learn your lesson. Like every time you
Okay.
come in here and you drag these people into court, I'm going to assess them, attorney's fees. I'm going to award them attorney's fees because you're messing around and you're causing all this unnecessary work they have to be doing. So you are going to pay for it, essentially. And
My,
if he wants to get out from under that burden, he can't continue to do the same thing over and over.
Go ahead, Kelly.
Let me ask y'all a question. The attorneys that are local, what is that, ProHawk or whatever they're doing? What do you think those attorneys are going to do after this? Do you think that they will try to civilly or some type of way sue Tyrone for using,
No, no,
no?
I don't
Okay.
think so. And the reason why, and I'll let everybody else answer the question as well, so y'all get y'all answers prepared. Here's why I'm telling you, Kelly, I don't think that's going to happen. The last filing between Dwayne Youngblood and his new attorney pretty much explains to you where they're going with their case. They're neither confirming nor denying anything. They're pretty much throwing their hands up and saying, Your Honor, we don't know nothing. That's Dwayne Youngblood's new position in all of this, ladies and gentlemen. He don't know nothing. They can neither confirm nor deny anything. And that should send everybody up to a red flag because the man is now saying he don't know nothing. They saying they can't confirm, they can't deny, they don't know absolutely nothing. And that should tell you on where they're going with their case. Their case is, Your Honor, please let us go. He don't want to file this no more. He's been and y'all remember, wait a minute, y'all remember that Dr. Scrotum Sniffer done went over there on that other platform and told them people that Dwayne's been trying to get away from this case for a while now, but Tyrone didn't want to let it go. Y'all remember when he said that?
Yep.
Y'all remember when he said
Wow.
that?
Yeah.
So it's like, come on now, you all
Kind
are
of shame.
you're playing games. I'm gonna let everybody else respond to Kelly's question, and then I'll say, Daryl, you go first. What's your response to Kelly's question? What do you think about that?
I really don't know. This whole thing got my head is hurting. Hmm. Go. You go first. I got to think.
Okay, I'm gonna let Stephanie, your turn.
I think the legalities of a lawyer suing another attorney because of their bad behavior on a case in which they were involved, like two opposing counsels, right? Like one going after the other because of just, bad activity, against their client. I think the legalities of that are a little sticky because um, really the adversarial system is you're supposed to avenge your client through that lawsuit that's already been filed, right?
Yeah.
And the actual, like, I don't know what claim they would necessarily have against Tyrone because they were hired to do a job, they did it, they prevailed in the adversarial system, and so they don't really necessarily have a claim against them personally over activity that over a suit that was filed against a client they had. You know
No,
what I
I'm
mean? Like I
talking about.
can't, like if I the claim, like if, let's say you filed against filed a lawsuit against somebody over a car wreck that never happened. And so I represent the
Mm,
person who's accused of causing that car accident that never happened, and we go to court. And if I beat you, then that's the remedy, right? I just beat you, and I get the case. I get justice for my client. I don't really have a claim that you did anything to me in particular as the attorney. So that's kind of where that comes in, is that I beat you on the claim that you filed, but I don't necessarily have standing to bring a claim against you because I had to do attorney work or anything like that.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're
Yeah.
saying, but it's
But
gonna be
Marcellus, you know
difficult.
what I'm talking about, the local attorneys that allowed him to use their
The pro
name.
hoc vice, yeah, I agree. Well, those are the people now, Kelly, who are representing Dwayne Youngblood because they've been representing Dwayne Youngblood from the beginning, but they've been quiet and silent because Tyrone was the attorney of record, okay, and because Tyrone Blackburn was the attorney of record. This is the only way I can explain it in our language. The white man was quiet and silent. The white man didn't say nothing. They was back there. The white man didn't say nothing. And y'all remember, I kept telling you guys when we kept reading them documents, I kept saying, what happened to the other attorneys signing off on Tyrone Blackburn's work? Because normally their names would be down listed at the bottom, CC, because he's using their license pro hoc vice or so he has to go through their law firm in order to even represent Dwayne Youngblood. So I got really confused. And y'all remember, I kept saying, who's checking Tyrone Blackburn's work? I said, I don't think nobody's checking his work. I'm coming to you, Mary. And that has been what the case is. And I totally get what you're saying, Kelly. The problem is they're not new. They're his original attorneys. They just were in the background.
mm.
The new people are saying, Kelly, we don't know what y'all talking about. What letter? What's going on? We can neither confirm nor deny anything. They went through the whole thing, Kelly, and said, we don't know about nothing about no letter. What lawsuit? What's going on? Who said what? We didn't say nothing. We can neither confirm nor deny any of this. That's what they literally said to the court and to the judge, Kelly. Because they're anticipating that being thrown out because Dwayne Youngblood wants to ride off into the sunset after all of this mess that him and these co-conspirators done caused.
Mhm.
And this slows down T.D. Jakes' ability to get justice in this particular case. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not saying T.D. Jakes is innocent of anything. All I'm saying is, as it regards to the evidence and the information that has been presented in this case is some bull jive. Mary, you have the floor.
Hey guys. Okay, so I'm gonna go back real quick to reference the YSL stuff, and then I'm gonna come back to talk about the Pennsylvania people, the Pro Hoc Vice people.
Okay.
So I think that the main difference, along to what you kind of just mentioned, we haven't even gotten to a trial.
Mhm.
So it wasn't that the violations that Tyrone did were during the actual trial. I also think that with the YSL case, being that the judge and everyone are from the Atlanta area, know everybody associated with YSL, whether it was from music, whether it was from whatever, and like how we know the judge had to be swapped out, blah, 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 blah. Everyone had to swap out because they all just knew each other. In this case, I feel as though this judge isn't necessarily a member of the Potter's house. So they're kind of new to it. They see, okay, we have one side claiming I'm broke, destitute, can't eat, whatever. And then we have multimillionaire, almost a billionaire, had the Wells Fargo deal gone through. I feel like since the beginning, that judge has been trying to be fair and give them the chance to even get the administrative part right. Because remember, it took a month to declare an attorney for him. They were filing responses and sending in letters and doing all this stuff before having even put an actual attorney on
Well,
file.
well, Mary, if we're gonna go there, then we have to interject this. That attorney was claiming he wasn't his attorney and was telling the other attorneys to pound
Pound
sand. And
sand.
then he turned
Hmm.
around and said, "Okay, Your Honor, I'm the attorney." And keep in mind that Tyrone Blackburn actually filed paperwork at one particular point asking the judge to give him attorney's fees, even though he was claiming that he was working pro bono.
Pro bono, right. So for me, I feel like the judge is trying to be fair because as soon as anything goes in Jake's favor, oh, the judge was bought off. Oh, the judge got a check.
Right.
Oh, the judge. So I feel like that's part of the reason why Tyrone, I mean, obviously Tyrone is just stalling the inevitable for himself. And of course, they're also trying to stall for the co-conspirators as they try to get their stuff in line, in order, whatever, I don't know. But on their side, it's a stall tactic. I think the judge is trying to cover their ass and be like, "Hey, I'm being fair. I have given you time after time. We are 6 months in, 8 months,
Are
9 months.
are
We're
you
in
kidding me?
September.
Are you kidding me? We've been dealing with this Tyrone Blackburn for almost a whole year.
No, no, no. I mean,
Hmm.
since the lawsuit, he
Yeah,
filed
that was
November or
November. That was
December.
that was November of
So
last
we're
year.
11 months in almost. Yeah. So
Almost.
we're 10 months in, and we haven't even gotten to discovery.
We hadn't got
I
to
do,
evidentiary value.
yes. So I do feel like the judge is trying to, you know, make sure that they are appearing as fair as possible. But I do feel that they are getting to the point where they're about to, like, this last response, and having went back to Protege or Chat GPT or whoever he used, the judge is probably at their wits end with this one.
I know I would be.
Because how dare you pull this stunt within a week of telling me, or 2 weeks of telling me, you corrected everything by learning in your
And you
continuing
said you was
education.
remorseful. You said you demonstrated remorse and you wasn't
You
gonna hold it
groveled at
against
the
you.
feet of the judge.
And according to TD Jakes' attorneys, you done did it again. You done
Right.
quoted law and misquoted the law and put the stuff in there again. Well, okay.
Yeah. And
Y'all,
so I feel like the judge needs to just dead it and say, look, you're lying. You're lying. Here is what your sanctions are. Here is what it is. I have been patient enough. We need to move this case forward. And I feel like the judge, it has tried it, they basically exuded as much patience and grace as they could for the poor, lonely, destitute people working pro bono, despite all the contradictions of being paid, not being paid. They're making sure that they are coming fair because they don't know these people from a can of paint. It's just their jurisdiction because that's where Youngblood is.
right.
Now, white people in Pennsylvania, like you said, we've been saying it since the very beginning. Who in the world just agrees to be the sponsor for an attorney that they haven't even researched?
Mm,
They clearly did not do the research on Tyrone himself,
right.
let alone get details of the case. Because the thing is, even if Tyrone hadn't messed up all this stuff and is, seek or getting sanctioned and stuff, what happens if he has a health emergency and he can't show up in court? Those attorneys need to be privy to the case regardless. Those attorneys should have always been involved, because what happens when you're on your way to the courthouse and that unfortunate car accident happens and you're stuck in traffic and whatever? Who is your backup, Tyrone?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania people should have been his backup. They clearly are not privy to the case. And as you said, they're gonna pull the we don't know nothing. It's hearsay. We cannot confirm or deny. This is just what he said. This is denied. You know, all the things that they
They
said
pretty
in
much
their
just said,
response.
Mary, and to answer your question, the bottom line for you, Kelly, they just the Wayne Youngblood's attorneys just simply say, Your Honor, we don't know nothing about what Tyrone Blackburn is talking about. We ain't seen no $6 million request letter. They have pretty much denied everything. They said they can't confirm nor deny it. To them, they said there's no letter that even exists. There was no request. So in their mind, Kelly, they're saying we don't even know how we all got here.
Which proves they didn't even read the documents that are in the court records,
Which is going
because
to
the
further
letter is
delay
in the court
justice.
documents.
Which is going to further delay justice. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I must say this to you all. This is an egregious display of using our court system to harm people's reputation, to ruin their business and their lives. And these co-conspirators and these people who are doing this stuff, while you're celebrating them, while you're going and cash apping them and celebrating all of this foolishness, what you don't realize what you're doing is you are literally ruining people's reputation with no proof whatsoever. And I know that in this generation now, it just seems like we have lost our value system. Even though I don't like T.D. Jakes, if you lying, you lying. If you don't have no proof, you don't have no proof. We done put this man in P. Diddy mess. We done put this man on all kinds of stuff in bedrooms and in all kinds of stuff that we have not been able to yet prove. And I don't even like him. I'm over here talking to you all and I don't even like T.D. Jakes. I respect some of the things that he's done. And I've even gone over this stuff with you guys as far as personally what I experienced with T.D. Jakes and when he came out on the scene. So this isn't personal. This is just what we're reading and what we understand and can comprehend. This is a mess. And if you out here on this internet and you are still attributing T.D. Jakes to P. Diddy and you are making these salacious claims, shame on you. Shame on you. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. Even if I don't like a preacher have disagreements with a preacher, I would never come out here and just say, oh yeah, he did this and he did. I would never do that. And what amazes me about some of you, these people can come out. There are people who can come out on the internet and make claims about being molested by certain individuals. And people will be all up in arms and standing up for those individuals and saying that everybody else is crazy for listening at the people who come forward and tell their testimony out of their own mouth. And you listen at other people make excuses for them and you financially support them. And then when we come and show you and line up information from you, now we're the ones who are crazy. Now we're the ones who are off. Now we're the ones. And I don't know, maybe because I have crossed over a certain age group. You all have at it. Y'all have at it. And at the end of it, God is not going to be mocked. All of these people, I don't care what kind of black sand curses. I don't care how much you think you got a prayer life. I don't care how many ancestors you call from Africa. I don't care what you do. God is not going to be mocked. Whatever a man sows, that will he also reap. And you guys can keep playing and thinking that God don't have no workings in all of this. God is going to vindicate the truth. He's never going to stand on the side of the lie. He's never going to stand on the side of your favorite vlogger. He's never going to stand on the side of just people doing all of this foolishness. I'm just being as honest and as forthright as I can. The Bible says the wicked man seems to flourish in his ways, but the scripture says he will soon be cut off. All of these people look like they're flourishing. They got new memberships and they got Patreons and they look like they flourishing. Don't you guys get discouraged. I'm going to encourage you right now. Don't you get discouraged, because even though these people seem like they flourishing, God is not going to let these people get away with it, because sooner or later the truth has to show up. And let me tell you, the truth is a person. Jesus said, I just want to say, I am the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is all day, everyday truth. He will never live in a lie. He will never surround himself with a bunch of people who allow themselves to live in a lie. You can dislike me all you want to. You can hate the sound of my voice. You can hate my platform. You can call me mad cow disease. You can call me Stewie. You can call me every name in the book. But you listen at me. God is not going to be mocked. Whatsoever you have sown, you are also going to reap. That is my final statement. I'm going to go to Stephanie. You all give me your final comments and we're going to wrap this up and we're out of here because I feel myself getting tremendously pissed off. Stephanie, it is now your time to speak.
I want to just second and amen everything you just said because, as an attorney, I'm really flabbergasted at how, and it's not just this case, and it's not just what Tyrone Blackburn has done historically. There's a lot of exploitation of, of the public's sympathy for sexual abuse victims. There's a lot of we're being exploited by people who make salacious and false claims because it appeals to our empathy, but it also appeals to our, I hate to say this, but it appeals to our sort of base, you know, our reptilian brain because we have a reaction to salacious sexual claims. We just do. That's the humankind,
Right.
and those are sort of appealing. People aren't filing false claims about getting their ass whooped. They're not filing false claims about somebody breaking into their house. They're filing these kinds of they're making these kinds of claims because it appeals to our empathy, but it also appeals to our reptilian brain that it kind of like it makes it a more attractive, more that kind of thing attracts more public attention. It attracts more, it gets people going. It really, revs our engines up. And I think that the public's being exploited by these because of how we will jump to, take sides on it. We will jump to cover it. We'll jump to have opinions about it, and we'll jump to destroy people's lives if we are persuaded that the person making this report is telling the truth, which often we don't put our thinking brains on to actually examine and have discernment on these kind of claims. And like I said, as part of it is because of our empathetic nature, part of it's because our reptilian brains, we just don't sit here and think it through that this actually like does this actually make sense. We have to treat these kind of claims just as we would treat a burglary or a robbery or anything else. Does it make sense? Does it sound like it could be true? And if it doesn't matter if it's about sex. It doesn't matter. We still have to apply the same kind of reasoning, the same kind of due diligence, the same kind of discernment to these type of claims. In this instance, people who are supporting this just haven't done that. They haven't done that, and it's we're not the crazy ones. We're not the ones who hate victims. We're not the ones who are just thinking, people should be able to get away with this. Not at all. Not at all. We have to listen to victims, but we don't necessarily have to believe every single case if it doesn't make sense. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
So
And it
that's
does, and this doesn't make sense and it hasn't made sense. Kelly G, I'm
right.
coming to you. I'm
Thank you
not
guys for having me up.
now thank you for coming, Stephanie. Don't you go anywhere just yet, Stephanie. Stay put. Kelly G, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Make your
So
final comments because I got to get out of here before my head explodes.
I definitely agree with everything Stephanie just said because when you think about it, we were at a point where victims were finally starting to be believed. We had the Me Too movement, all the girls in the US Olympics gymnast situation with that doctor who were assaulting them all those years. All of this stuff was happening. And we felt like women victims, male victims, whoever was being believed finally. And now you have Tyrone Blackburn and that other one who keeps on doing these crazy, salacious, egregious stories. And it's like the evil people who are really doing things. Now they're gonna have to it's look at what they did to this person. They're lying. Now the people who are really doing things have like a something to kind of say, well, look at what happened to Fat Joe. He didn't do anything. But now you're giving an excuse to real perpetrators. I didn't
Absolutely.
do it. I, look at what all these other people went through. So it's kind of like this stuff. I hate that it happened because we were getting to a place where um, people understood these type of assaults, what it looked like. They supported victims. Victims could speak out, and we were getting to a place of healing, I think, across the world. And now this stuff has just made it worse. And
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
yeah, that's what I wanted to say and end on that. And y'all have a great day.
You do the same. And I appreciate you coming up and having the boldness to come up here, Kelly, and say your piece. Your opinions are respected. I appreciate you coming up. Just know that.
I
And
used to come up there when y'all had the 18 back in the day, a little bit here and there.
and I appreciate you. I do. I really do appreciate you.
All right.
Let me see. I know. Let me go to Daryl because I know he's getting ready to go to work, and then I'm gonna let Mary, we'll polish out this whole thing. Go ahead, Daryl. Go for it.
I see this not ending well for Blackburn or Youngblood. And if they don't come into court and tell who was the mastermind behind all of this, who was the money behind all of this, they're going to go down and fall on the sword, and they're going to be in a lot of trouble. The more Blackburn talks, the more he writes stuff, the more he gets in trouble. If you notice in all of this, in the last couple of months, Youngblood has not said anything publicly. It's like he just vanished. So you got young Blackburn out here running his mouth. You got other people running their mouth, but nobody has heard Youngblood say a word. And I have a strong suspicion that when this finally gets to discovery and all the other parts, he's going to flip and tell everything he knows and ask for them to cut him a deal.
Yeah, because he's on the hook for possibly going back to jail, y'all. That's what people are not understanding. They're not understanding. That man's out on parole. He's not free. Okay. So this kind of stuff coming up, and then they're going to be a heavy price to pay. But thank you, Daryl. Get yourself prepared for work. I know you got to go. Peace out to Daryl Moore. Shout out to Daryl Moore in the chat, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. Cigar Vlogger, we appreciate you, brother. You know I do. Mary, go
Good
ahead
to
and
see you,
get
Daryl.
go ahead and make your comments, and you tell me what you thinking, Mary, because I tell you one thing. Yeah, this is a mess.
Yeah, and I mean, of course, I'm gonna sound like a broken record. I don't think anybody is in the clear, no matter how passionately or eloquently or enthusiastic we speak about something. Or if people are so called in works or in talks and doing this, the smartest thing I think for Youngblood to have done right now is to be quiet, which he should have stayed quiet and never done the interview in the first place. But I do feel as though we always hear so and so is talking to so and so, and why, if all these potential legal conversations you're having behind the scenes, why are they being brought to any platform, whether it's behind your paid membership or what have you? We are constantly taking away from the victims, as we've always said, to piggyback off of both Stephanie and Kelly. You know, we were finally making strides in people getting their justice served, and then the opportunists inserted themselves in it. They see someone with a big bank and they wanted a check, and
Exactly.
they just won't admit it. So yeah, we just need to get back to focusing on the real victims and just realize nobody is in the clear, because if I'm having legal discussions with anybody, I'm not telling anybody, private community or not.
Correct. And if you haven't, how are you having legal discussions with somebody? This is just my opinion. And you were listed in the document as co-conspirator number one. Logic would tell me, y'all need to think about this stuff. Why would the attorney on the other side come to you when they listed you as co-conspirator number one? Does that make any sense to you all? Use your reasoning skills. That don't even make any sense to me, unless they were coming to you to ask you to fess up and to tell what your part of the situation was. You understand what
And
I'm
not
saying?
well, and to be clear, it wasn't outlined whether it was the attorney for sure who reached out to the platform,
Mhm.
or if it was someone from the team. because it kept getting flip-flopped. Someone from the team versus someone from the
Which is just to confuse the people on the internet. That's why I
exactly.
don't listen to them. And I'm just going to repeat it to you again. I'm saying is either one way or the other. I'm not saying that TD Jakes is innocent. I don't know how many times I'm about to say this. I don't know, but I'm talking about as it relates to the information that has been presented to us thus far. We have not seen anything, nor have they proven anything. So all I've seen them do is try to add additional people into their case to bolster their case or claim towards TD Jakes, but none of those people have any proof of what they're saying. I can say that the Easter Bunny hopped from my living room into my kitchen and I saw his cotton bushy tail all day long.
Not Peter Cottontail hopping through the house.
I'm just saying, hip hoppity hopping, it won't stop.
Hey, bebop. But and not only that, but the like he said in his own words, the one who is still alive that actually violated and physically successfully violated him has not gotten a case drawn against him. And why? Because TD Jakes has the bigger paycheck. There was no actual commencement of acts with Jakes, but he is pursuing Jakes and not pursuing the one who actually commenced in a act to completion, from my understanding of the story.
Yeah,
Let's be clear, y'all.
yeah. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to some Pooh Corner, Stephanie. Christopher Robin and
Oh,
I
I
want
love
to
Winnie
know.
the Pooh.
Let me tell you something. I got to go listen to some Winnie the Pooh, some I got to go calm myself and calm my nerves because this is disturbing to its core and it gets down in your spirit and you can feel the wickedness of this. This is wicked, you all. This is more spiritual than it is anything. The Bible says, and the Bible says we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against powers and principalities and wickedness in high places. This is a demon that we are dealing with, you all. And this demon is something else. And he thinks he's going to win. He thinks he's going to win, but God is going to ultimately win. And I'm so done with this. I'm so done with this, Stephanie. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't know if you got
I
anything
hear
else
you.
to say, but I'm
I
finished.
sure
Go ahead.
don't. I
All
sure
right.
don't. I sure
Ma-
don't.
Mary,
Oh,
thank you guys for joining me. Stephanie, Daryl,
thank
Kelly
you.
G, thank y'all for coming up. All I'm gonna tell you all at the end of the day is use your brain. Stop just letting people tell you they got some information, but the only way you can get it is to come behind their paywall to get it. Now, I understand if they want to come to the private membership and discuss some personal things that they don't want to put out into the public. That I get because I've done that. I get that. But come on, guys. What do you think this person can offer you that you don't already know? Look at this case. This case is a disaster on every kind of level. If this case was in Mel's diner, Alice would have already told Mel to kiss her grits. This would have been done.
Right.
This would have been done. Use your brain. That's all I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. And it don't take a rocket science to figure if somebody's lying in this whole situation. And I see, let me tell you what I see and I sense in my spirit. Not too many days hence from now, because now all of these people are scrambling. They're scrambling behind the scenes. That's why now they're throwing Cora Jakes and they're throwing this convicted SA offender into this case. You know why? They're throwing anything and everything at this situation to work behind the scenes to see what they can come up with to bolster their claim and to work something out. But let me tell you, I don't normally do this, but I rebuke every single one of you. I rebuke every one of you. And I want to tell you, and you listen to my words very carefully, not too many days from the sound of my voice, God is going to handle and take care of you. And you're going to see it. And when God comes for you, then you know you've been got. Thanks everyone for watching. Your support means the world to us. Please make sure that you hit the like button and please make sure that you subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the bell icon and make sure you press all notifications so that way you will never miss any of the exclusive content that comes on my channel. Make sure that you never miss a video. Now, I try to go live every day about 2:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 5:30 Eastern Standard Time. And then I come back at night at around 8:30 Pacific Standard Time, which is about 10:30 Eastern Standard, with some more exclusive content. So if you want more Mad Church Disease show content, we'd love for you to become a member, a revolutionary member of our channel. Please make sure that you hit the join button that's right next to the subscribe button or somewhere around here so that you guys can receive access to special community posts. You guys get all of the access to my community only lives, because we've got some sipping chats that we're going to be doing, and you guys will get exclusive content. So just make sure that you head on over to the channel page, click on the join button, and make sure that you do that. Thanks again for watching. I appreciate your love and support, and I'll see you on my very next video.
We are Mad Church Disease, helping you understand that Jesus plus nothing is everything. This is a show for everyone, believers and non-believers, from churched to the unchurched. Help us grow the channel by supporting our non-profit causes and create more consistent content. Donate by Cash App or PayPal, or buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.